Alright, let's talk about something that holds our world together quite literally. I'm talking about welding. From the skyscrapers that touch the clouds to the cars we drive every day, none of it would be possible without a welder fusing metal together with incredible heat and precision. Welding is essential in many industries, but it comes with serious risks. It's a craft that demands respect, not just for the skill involved, but for the inherent dangers that come with the territory. It's not a job for the faint of heart, and it's certainly not a job for the careless. Every time that arc is struck, there's a potential for something to go very, very wrong. I've spent a lot of time with folks who get their hands dirty for a living, and I can tell you this, the pros, the real masters of their craft, they never cut corners on safety. They understand that the tools that allow them to build can also cause serious harm in the blink of an eye. Ignoring the risks isn't brave, it's foolish. The difference between a long, successful career and a tragic accident often comes down to knowledge and preparation. So whether you're a seasoned pro just looking for a refresher or a greenhorn just starting out, stick with me. Today, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what can go wrong on the job site. We're not here to scare you, but to arm you with the knowledge you need to stay safe. We're going to talk about the invisible dangers and the all too visible ones. It's about understanding the environment, respecting the power you're wielding, and making sure you go home in one piece at the end of the day. Let's break down the top hazards every welder should watch out for. First up, let's talk about something you can't see, but you can definitely feel: electric shock. People see the bright light and the sparks and forget that at its core, arc welding is all about electricity. You're dealing with a live electrical circuit, and if your body becomes a part of that circuit, well, the consequences can be devastating. It can happen in a split second. Maybe you're working in a damp environment, or your gloves are worn out and soaked with sweat. All it takes is touching two metal objects that have a voltage between them, and suddenly, you're the path of least resistance. The danger here isn't just a little jolt. We're talking about currents that can stop your heart cold. A secondary voltage shock, the one that happens between the electrode and the work, is the most common and can be fatal under the right or wrong conditions. A primary voltage shock from the input power is even more dangerous. It's why inspecting your equipment before you even think about starting is non-negotiable. Check your cables for cracks or bare spots. Make sure your insulation is intact and your connections are solid. Don't become a ground for the current. It's about creating a safe workspace. Never change electrodes with bare hands or wet gloves. Keep yourself insulated from the workpiece and the ground, especially in damp conditions. Use a dry board or a rubber mat to stand on if you have to. People often get complacent because they've done it 1,000 times without an issue. But electricity doesn't care about your track record. It only cares about finding a path to the ground, and you have to make absolutely certain that path isn't you. It's a silent killer that demands your constant, undivided respect. Now let's talk about another invisible threat, the fumes and gases. When you melt metal, you're not just creating a solid bond, you're creating a plume of smoke. And that smoke isn't just harmless vapor. It's a complex cocktail of metallic oxides, silicates, and fluorides. Depending on what you're welding, whether it's stainless steel, aluminum, or metal with special coatings like zinc or cadmium, you could be breathing in some seriously toxic stuff. These microscopic particles can travel deep into your lungs, causing both short-term and long-term health problems. In the short term, you might get something called metal fume fever. You'll feel like you've got a bad case of the flu: chills, fever, nausea, aches, and pains. It's your body's reaction to inhaling certain metal oxides, particularly zinc. But the long-term effects are what you really need to worry about. We're talking about chronic respiratory problems like bronchitis, asthma, and even lung cancer. Certain fumes, like those from welding stainless steel, contain hexavalent chromium, a known carcinogen. The damage is cumulative, building up over years until it's too late. This is why ventilation is absolutely critical. It's not an optional extra, it's a lifeline. If you're in an open, well-ventilated area, you might be okay. But if you're in a confined space, inside a tank, a pipe, or a small room, you need mechanical ventilation. That means local exhaust systems that suck the fumes away right at the source before they ever reach your breathing zone. And in many cases, that's not even enough. You need to be wearing the right respirator, one that's rated for the specific type of fume you're generating. Your lungs are not a filter. Protect them. Alright, let's move on to a danger that is anything but invisible: fire and explosions. You're working with temperatures that can reach 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. You're creating a shower of sparks and molten metal spatter that can fly over 35 feet. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that if one of those hot little embers lands on something flammable, you've got a serious problem on your hands. A tiny spark can smolder for hours in a crack or a pile of sawdust before erupting into a full-blown inferno long after you've packed up and gone home. The first rule of fire safety in welding is to know your environment. Before you strike a single arc, you need to survey the area. What's around you? Are there wood shavings, oily rags, paper, cardboard, or flammable liquids? You need to clear a wide radius around your workspace of anything that could possibly catch fire. If you can't move it, you need to cover it with fire-resistant blankets. Look for cracks in the floor or walls where sparks could fall through to a lower level. It's about being paranoid in a good way, thinking about every possible way a fire could start. And it's not just about what's in plain sight. You have to consider the risk of explosion. Never ever weld on or near closed containers, drums, or tanks without making absolutely sure they're clean and properly vented. A little bit of residual flammable liquid or vapor inside is a bomb waiting to go off. Always have a fire extinguisher, the correct type for the job, within arm's reach. And just as important, have a designated fire watch. Another person whose only job is to watch for sparks and be ready to put out a fire. It might seem like overkill, until it's the one thing that saves the building from burning down. This next one seems obvious, but you'd be surprised how often people get hurt by it. I'm talking about burns. The heat generated during welding is intense, and it presents a danger in multiple forms. The most obvious is the arc itself, but the threat doesn't stop there. You have the molten weld pool, the red-hot metal you just finished welding, and the shower of sparks and spatter that flies off the workpiece. Any of these can cause severe third-degree burns in an instant if they make contact with unprotected skin. It's the little things that get you. A tiny piece of molten slag can fall into the top of your boot or down the collar of your shirt. You might instinctively reach out to steady a piece of metal you just laid a bead on, forgetting that it's still hundreds of degrees. These are painful lessons, and they often leave permanent scars. This is where your personal protective equipment, your PPE, is your last and most important line of defense. We're talking flame-resistant clothing, not your everyday cotton t-shirt that can easily ignite. We're talking leather, and lots of it. Your PPE is your armor. Heavy, flame-resistant pants without cuffs that could catch sparks. A welding jacket, or leather sleeves to protect your arms. Steel-toed leather boots, preferably high tops, to protect your feet. And of course, proper welding gloves or gauntlets that extend well past your wrist. It might feel hot and cumbersome, especially on a summer day, but I guarantee you it's a lot more comfortable than a skin graft. Respect the heat. Every single piece of metal you're working on is a potential branding iron. Treat it as such until it's cool to the touch. Finally, let's talk about your eyes. You only get one pair, and welding is a profession that seems uniquely designed to destroy them if you're not careful. The danger comes from two main sources: the intense light and the flying debris. The welding arc produces a spectrum of light that includes ultraviolet and infrared radiation, which are incredibly damaging to the naked eye. Even a brief, accidental exposure, just a second or two, can cause a painful condition known as arc eye or welder's flash. Imagine the worst sunburn you've ever had, but on the surface of your eyeball. That's arc eye. It feels like having sand poured in your eyes. They become red, watery, and extremely sensitive to light. It's excruciatingly painful, and while it usually heals, repeated exposure can lead to permanent damage, including cataracts and a loss of vision. And this isn't just a risk for the welder. Anyone in the vicinity of the arc who isn't properly protected is in danger. That's why welding screens and barriers are so important on a busy job site. But the light is only half the battle. You're also chipping slag, grinding metal, and cutting, all of which sends debris and sharp particles flying through the air at high speeds. A tiny shard of metal hitting your eye can be catastrophic. This is why a proper welding helmet with an auto-darkening filter is an absolute necessity. But don't forget the safety glasses you wear under the helmet. When you flip that hood up to inspect your work, those glasses are your only protection from a stray piece of slag you just chipped off. Protecting your vision is non-negotiable. So there you have it. Electric shock, toxic fumes, fire, burns, and eye damage. It's a sobering list, But it's not meant to discourage you from this incredible trade, it's meant to empower you. Knowledge is the single most important tool you can have in your box. Understanding the risks is the first step toward mitigating them and ensuring that you can have a long, healthy, and productive career. The work you do is vital, it's skillful, and it's something to be proud of. But none of that matters if you don't make it home at the end of the shift. Remember that safety isn't a suggestion, it's a requirement. It's a mindset that you have to adopt every single time you step into the workshop or onto the job site. Always follow safety protocols and use the right protective gear. Don't get complacent, don't take shortcuts, and don't ever think that it won't happen to me. The laws of physics and chemistry don't play favorites. They apply to the apprentice and the master craftsman all the same. Your well-being and the well-being of those working around you depends on the choices you make every minute of the day. So, do your pre-work checks, wear your PPE, keep your workspace clean and ventilated. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. Look out for your buddies and let them look out for you. The dirtiest jobs are often the most important, but they demand the most respect. Thanks for watching. Now go out there, be safe, and keep welding smart.